Good morning. Today is Saturday. It is the 14th of November. We are basically following up on what we were doing Wednesday. We're going to try to find the other two meadows that are to the north of where we presently are and see how we do with that. That's basically the plan for today. We're going to hopefully repeat some activity that potentially happened on Wednesday as well, and we'll see how that goes, making the day a little more interesting too. But we're going to get moving and see if we can find these meadows. Looking to see if this is possibly one of the meadows. There's an area over here that looks like it wants to open up. I'm trying to get through the undergrowth without having all the droplets come down on me and the camera. So hopefully the camera will behave okay today. It's kind of like raw and cold and wet, so it's just not a nice day out. But we'll do what we can. Basically a subpar kind of day, but long story short, we took the day off, so we're out. So basically on Wednesday we explored a beaver pond and the adjoining meadow and had the drone in the air, and there's two other large meadows further north. That's what we're trying to find today. It's hard to tell if this really opens up or if it's just a different patch of trees. But the first time we tried to get in here, and I'm starting to think that's just a bunch of trees. A little further up the hill here and verify, but first time we were in here, it was a day after a freak snowstorm, so a lot of this was obscured by snow cover. And interesting stretch of woods though. I had always assumed it was just a slight dead end. This is just trees. But the this will make our way back then. Keep going. The area goes, the first time I walked this back, it went for quite a ways. You know, we stopped when it came to a junction of 3 different trails. It just kept going. So we have some exploratory work to do. And that will be our focus for a bit. I'm going to try to do the video in short bursts though, just to kind of minimize the soaking of the camera. Since that isn't one of the meadows, we're going to take a segment break quickly and heading towards another open looking area. Because it's raining today, the drone will not be in the air, sorry. But so we're kind of doing this by guesswork to some degree. But we're heading over in this direction. Hold on. Heading over into this direction, and again getting thwarted because it just looks like more trees and a lot of laurelish undergrowth. So, nope. As I said, we're going to do a couple of short bursts just to keep the camera from getting too wet. Side trail, so we're going to cover more ground. Begin the wider exploration of this area. See how far these trails go back. Interesting sign along the way too. I'm not sure what it means. It's right at the state line marker. I mean, right now we are parallel with Connecticut and Massachusetts on the state line. Okay, better now. And we're going to stop. So we're on the side trail, and basically we're going to see how far it goes back. Walk it back a little. It's kind of still tilting. Whatever. It's getting wet too. I wonder if that's a factor. Alright, so this trail keeps going for a ways. I'm not going to keep going too far down here because I don't want to get too far off the beaten path. But it is nice to know that there's an area to explore in here. You could definitely hide a squatch or two in here too. So what happened on Wednesday, I had made my way around the beaver pond to the meadow and had kind of gotten in there, a smallish meadow with the stream running through and a lot of tall grass, so you can't really see anywhere past there. On the way back though, I'm going to use the word possibly, that it sounded like something was mirroring my steps. It's like one of those classic cliche things you hear where something's like moving with you and you stop short and it messes up. It was kind of like that. Didn't see anything, but there are certain parts of this stretch of woods where you have thick bits of, like over there, I don't know if you can see if I can zoom in on that. Off in the distance over there you see there's a lot of laurel. And that's decent cover for something that doesn't want to be seen. Even though now that it's November and all the leaves are down, it's a lot more open in here. And you can see out probably 100 feet or more, other than the laurel. But that stuff doesn't seem to die off in the middle of November like everything else does, so still undergrowth. We're going to walk this back to the main trail. We'll pick it up again. I'm going to let the camera dry out a little bit more. Like I said, this video is going to be short bursts because of the rain. Walk back a couple of the side trails, and it's looking more like that part of the trail system is maybe somebody's private property. There was a sign to a cabin that I'll respect their privacy, but interestingly enough, there's no posted signs or anything saying stay out, so not really sure what the rules of engagement are there. But so it goes back a ways. I don't know, again, don't know what the rules of engagement are, because there's one sign that kind of differentiates what their property is versus this, I guess, is a state trail on the Connecticut side. So I don't really know what the rules are. They don't have a lot of signage saying stay out, so I'm not really sure. But it is apparently private property. But the major bummer of the day is the weather. I think I'm going to opt to continue my efforts on this video for tomorrow, when it's hopefully going to be a drier day. This is kind of I've seen a couple of moose tracks today, and I had something fly away from me. I think it was some kind of an owl that I spooked. A fairly sizable lightish, brownish, tannish bird. Looked a little chunky to be a hawk, so I'm thinking it's probably an owl of some kind. But other than that, it's just a rainy day and me trying to keep the camera dry, which is proving to be kind of futile. And inevitably my rain poncho grabbed the branch and has a nice big tear in it, so I'll probably have to get another $5 rain poncho. But they're only good for so many uses anyway, because inevitably if you're going to go through the undergrowth like I do, you're going to catch it on something, chew it up, and that's just the nature of things. So I will be out in some capacity tomorrow, and we will call this a segment break, because I'll probably film more tomorrow if the camera doesn't fry in the rain, and we'll call it here. We are heading north, as stated, and we are going to work through this area where the pond has a stream down there that runs parallel through this part over here, and the prevailing theory based on drone video is that the next meadow is about 200 feet north of here, maybe a little more. But that is our first target. And then there's another one adjacent to it, which is, I think they're like 100 feet apart. So we're just kind of getting the lay of the land of this stretch of the woods. And preferably before next week, when it gets to be bow hunting season, we might have more company in here than we prefer, because right now, Wednesday, we had a situation where I potentially heard my footsteps being mirrored by something up on the hill. Basically, since I have the ability to give you a visual over that way, if you look through and you can see, let me zoom for you. If you can see through there, there's a crack through there, and there's a meadow on the other side of that, and that is where that occurred. I'm going to kind of parallel this area again today to try to see if we can produce that, and Hold on. We need to take a short break. Okay, we had some trouble with the camera, but we're basically still moving in the same direction. And again, starting to think I might need to replace this camera if it's going to. Long story short, it got wet in the rain yesterday. There's more moose poo, and it was doing some odd things when I got home yesterday. So I'm wondering if the rain has caused some lasting issues with it. I'm hoping not, but basically we are hoping to find this meadow over here. So again, Wednesday we had our footsteps mirrored potentially, which could have meant we were being followed by something. And it's like that proverbial where you stop and the thing following you kind of messes up and you kind of tell the difference, kind of what was going on. But either that happens today or doesn't. We're still, main objective is the meadows. So we're going to hopefully, without having to go through all this laurel over here and keeping an open area available, we can try to find that first meadow, and the second one basically parallels it. So that's our plan for the immediate next few minutes. Again, hopefully the camera will behave. Anyway, for a quick pan, for those who want to see the nature of the area, pond is still over there. We haven't gotten too far yet. And you have all this laurel stuff here that I would assume not have to get stuck in. But get past this log and yeah, so I'm hoping it's fairly close by without him going too deep, because maybe I'm being a wuss, but it is like blustery and still wet from yesterday, so it's cold today, and I possibly could have brought a coat, but we'll deal. Of course, then you might get too warm if it gets warmer later, so you never know. I just suddenly realized I'm following a moose trail. So, let's see here. And we're going to, for the sake of covering ground, we're going to do a segment break, I think. Okay, so I think we found our meadow. We gotta make our way over here real quick. It's about as far away from the pond as we thought to. We just gotta kind of weave through some rocky whatnot here to get over to that. I think it's more of a meadow than a pond from what we saw from the air. Weave through these little pine trees and the like. And again, there were like 2 of these, so I guess when we get back we can kind of do a mental guessing from the drone video of where this, there's some water in here because we found the stream again. Which gives me a navigation tool on the way back too, to get back to the pond. So we got to get around this. I don't think we necessarily have to cross the stream. Just trying to find the path of least resistance. So we could jump here and go over that way. Let me look. Yeah, let's do that. This is kind of what we were following. Inadvertently, anyway. So see if this kind of angles over here to get to the edge of this meadow thing. And that will be a partial status of mission accomplished, because there's another one about 100 feet away from this, allegedly. I'm just trying to find the least obstructive way into this. There's some undergrowth. No, there's an opening right here, actually. Good. So, hunters have found this before, obviously. I just found some hunter's tape. But they're not here today. So, let's see here. Yeah, this is the edge of it. Let's have a look from where that log is right there and see. Yeah, it's not quite there yet. Go around this log, this down tree. See if we can weasel our way in over here. It would seem to be surrounded by a decent amount of damned other undergrowth. So, if we kind of weave around, there's a hole over there. If we can figure out how to get past this, we're going to kind of do this. Weave through this little tree maze thing here. Yeah. Okay. And there's still more damned undergrowth. Son of a gun. Alright. Or I could have just walked around that thing and gone in. Because it looks like it opens up over here by this tree to some degree. And this damn thing is covered by leaping laurel. So, the question that begs itself, is there a way through this that's not too crazy to get a look? Because, no, that's good. This is annoying. This is actually kind of annoying now. We'll try that for the last thing and then figure out something from there. This thing is surrounded by goddamn undergrowth. We're gonna have to. Alright, I think this is probably about as good as we're going to find for openings. So let's work our way over here. And this kind of opens up enough to have a look. Subpar for getting a good look, but it looks like it's all tall grass and shit. Let's kind of make our way through this if it's not all water. Get around that tree and have a bigger look. Then I might be willing to call it good. Just kind of want to get an idea of the size of the meadow. There you go. It opens up a little bit here. It's kind of big in here, truth be told. And there you go. I found the stream again. We're going to stop here real quick and take a break so I can get some photography in. And if my memory from the video is correct, what's in there is a lot of tall grass and uneven ground, a couple of pine trees here and there. Fairly big meadow otherwise though. And there you have an overflying plain that ruins the nice ambiance of the woods. But I guess it is what it is. We're going to kind of follow the same way back just to not get off course here. And angle our way back towards the stream. And then alright, so there is like a little bit of water that runs through the middle of that, but more or less it's a meadow. Get that stuff out of my way. So we're going to walk back through and find the stream and then calculate our next bit of navigation, which I want to say the other one is off that direction. So I don't know if you'd really call that a full X formation, but sort of looks like one. Interesting though, because it's propped up against a tree and it is broken off down here. Right there. Okay. Onward. Just listening for the stream real quick. But this is the basic direction we came from to find it. But it basically parallels right there into it too, so we just got to find the point where we crossed, because it was an easy crossing spot. A little bit of a cold day for wet feet, if we can avoid that. Anyway, so matters of discussion on the way back. Not really a lot going on in the Bigfoot community this week, so I don't really know what to... Sorry. to cover there. There you go. This is a little pseudo path we found when we came in. And the stream is right down here. Something was digging right there. Yep, there's our stream. So, excuse me. Gonna cross on this little rock shelf here. And if you do step in, it's not horrifically deep. But it's fucked up. Anyway, let's kind of walk our way up here. Work our way back. So, how do we come in? We kind of came through this light piney stuff. So at this point, if I can get back to an open area here, where you can see it a little closer. So if I'm being honest at this point, the beaver pond's a little more intriguing overall than that meadow is. A little hard to get around in there, but we are gonna get out of this little boulder field and we're gonna take a segment break again. Mainly just to save on the camera's battery once I get on some even footing again. So we are en route to what we believe is the fourth meadow, but there's a whole lot more undergrowth this time, so I need to figure out if there's a way to kind of snake through this stuff, because I want to say it's right over there. That would kind of match the terrain that was presented by the drone video, which is a lovely aerial survey tool. Yeah, maybe we can kind of just weave through this, because it looks like it's not that far from this little opening in the laurel. Hopefully we don't spook a bear or a moose or something in here. But we are recording. Yes, we are good. Alright, it kind of opens up a little bit here and there. Gives you a little bit of a maze to walk through, but the question is this our meadow? Because it was basically parallel with the other one. We're back parallel with it again. So, if it isn't and I'm wrong, then I'll eat some humble pie and we'll have to go back and look at the video. Because that would mean it's way the hell in on the other side of the trail. And I might want to map my way in, because this is looking like more trees actually. Unless this is actually the meadow, in which case it's pretty fucking disappointing. Pardon my French. I see a lot of laurel and a lot of trees. I don't see an opening. I don't think this is it. So it was parallel to it though, not that far away. All right, we'll keep going a little ways and see if we find something else more promising. It's annoying, but no. We might be going back to the drawing board on this last one, but we'll figure that out. All right, sorry about that. I just barely saw one of my tracks and I realized how useless it is to try to track things in this wet leaf litter stuff. A tree break right there, but those are normal. All right, so let me just take a second look around here. Huh. Maybe not. All right. Segment break while I kind of fall back and punt.